I'd kick somebody's butt if they were flying too high and blowing things off, but never somebody that was down. And that was an incredible learning experience to me. The never take advantage of anybody when they're on their heels. And it was a beautiful thing. So that's one thing. And then I made some acquisitions before I became CEO, where we bought people that didn't have the right culture. And I'll tell you, once you get a wrong culture, no matter how good the numbers look, I learned culture counts as much as financial analysis in making deals. Yep. So those are things I picked up along the way from having blow-ups, having a bad deal that looked great on paper, but we got the people in, they didn't mesh in any way with our culture.
How do you feel about the immigration restrictions on international students in American universities and the subsequent restrictions on work authorization for these students? Many of these people come from overseas.
I know, tell me how to deal with it right. I think it's not one of the hardest problems facing the country. I really don't. And you look at the Twin Towers, and you look at that awful day in New York, and you can get on one side of the argument. You can look at all the way this country's been built with great minds from all over the world, and you just die the fact that we're keeping great people out or sending them back. I don't have the answer. I'd like to be here to tell you how to do it. I guess I'd err more on the side of getting the brains and open the doors more than I would, because I think you can get a bad apple no matter what you do. But so I'd err on that side, but I don't really have the answer. There are smarter people than me that can tell you how to deal with that. I want everybody to have a chance. I think our country will be great from its diversity. And I think we want to have as many diverse minds as we possibly can here. So I guess I'd come down on the side of more visas and more freedom.
Here's a question.
Now, let me ask you.
Sorry.
Where are you on this issue?
Well, I think we're very much in that
same place. Yeah. I think we're shooting ourselves in the foot because you can't screen these people well. Yeah. Question from the audience. They focus it on the system of managing people at GE, but I think it's a general question. How do you deal with rivalry among your best people who are competing for the next promotion? And how do you deal with frustration? Somebody who's very good and doesn't get the promotion.
Well, let's go to the first one.
Yeah.
The first one comes clearly from the way you set your values. When you set your values, you define values. The word values substitute every time you hear values, substitute behaviors. And once you substitute behaviors, there, you say you don't want that behavior isn't rewarded. Everyone knows it. So somebody starts being a rival, and like for example, I had those 3 guys going to be CEO. Any one of them would have been killed if they had done anything to promote themselves. Anything. They would have been dead. They knew it. We had none of that stuff. Nothing. And maybe privately in their own houses they were doing it, but they didn't do it outside. Look, because we defined it. We took people out of jobs, senior leadership jobs, CEOs of businesses, who were not sharing ideas, not sharing people, because boundaryless open behavior was a value. So now you got to measure your values and you got to reward them. The second part of that question I wanted to answer it. If somebody's frustrated and disappointed, you got to call them in, and you got to have conversations with them about this is one of many. And while the wheel came around for them and was just right for somebody else, next time it'll come around in their behalf. All they have to do is deliver more and tell them why the other person got the job and why they didn't get it at this point in time. Lay it out. There's no secret. No one should know why one person got it and they didn't. You'll diffuse a lot. You can't believe what candor and transparency will do for you in leading people. And that's a classic case where candor and transparency, which we pound here, we pound in this book, is so critical to operating a company.
Alex, we should probably do one more and then wrap it up.
Here's a provocative question. Do you think you could have done, this is from the audience, by the way. Do you think you could have done everything you did, career as GE CEO, 3 kids, 3 wives, if you were a woman?
Not at my age, at my time. I don't think the world was ready for that at that time. I think today I could. I think today there is a much broader acceptance of women in the workplace today, and women have many more options, and they can put processes in place. I think there's a very good chance in GE that a woman could be the next CEO. We have a number of CEOs of big businesses there. There was no way a woman was going to make it in my time. I just don't think it was possible. I mean, when I became chairman of GE, we didn't have one female officer. It was a male engineering culture, and I'd be lying to tell you that anything different.
I think we should wrap it up. It's 5 of. Thank you very much, Jack.
Thank you, Jack.
Thanks a lot.
Alex?
Thank you. Thank you.